And we're back, guys. Tennis in a minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. I give you the rundown on tennis coverage every day. Tennis After Dark. We're in the studio. And if you did not get a chance to check out the video I did about Camila Giorgi, please go check that video out. It's a pretty darn, it's a long video, but I just want to talk about Camila Giorgi right quick because I think it's a sad situation. And again, it's allegedly, I don't know what's going on. I just read a couple stories, and nowadays, journalists and reporting is like the Wild West. I mean, people literally put out stories to get likes and views. And, the reality here is if what I'm reading is true, I think it's a shame for one that the WTA, and I focus more on the WTA and what they're paying players because I just feel that, if they're raking in 112 million or 114 million or something like that in revenue, look, take $10 million, put it aside, and give every player in the top 100 a $100,000 bonus at the end of the year. That's the incentive for being ranked inside the top 100, right? And what's going to happen is you're going to see this. You're going to see a lot more players mentally more stable, physically fit, because they can focus more on their game instead of finances. Let's just look at the top 50 and up, or even top 40 and up. A lot of these players are not profitable. They're just not. Because a lot of them, if you're inside the top 50, you kind of you're okay when it comes to, let's just say, the slams, because you're still not gonna get in every master event, right? Because some of these master events, especially the 500s, you're just not. It's invitation only. You take a look at the Porsche Grand Prix in Germany. That's invitation only, you know. So even you could be a top 50 player, and you're not going to get in a prestigious tournament like that. So you find a lot of these players, they're forced to play the 250s. The 250s don't pay jack, okay? They don't pay anything, you know? When you take a look at the cost to travel there, the hotel, ground transportation, you got to pay for your coaches. And a lot of the coaches, it depends on the contract, depends on the agreement you have with your coach. But it costs to fly your team in and have them travel with you. It's very expensive. Flights are very expensive internationally. And the reality here is a lot of these players, they're playing 250s and they're not making money. You have to win the 250 to win what, $25,000 or something like that? 20,000? That is not a lot of money. Okay? It's not a lot of money. The WTA, they need to work something out. If they're going to be holding this tournament in Saudi Arabia for money, they have plenty of money over there, okay? Make them add on, put it in the contract, an additional $10 million for the tour. Take that money and look, that's how it works. Filter the money out in different ways you need it to propel the game forward. And I think the players, if you're inside the top 100, everyone should get a $100,000 bonus. Yeah, the top 10 players, they've been on tour, they've been playing slams for the last whatever amount of years. They have money, they're doing well, at least most of them, right? As long as they're managing their money, they're doing well. They're not going to need the $100,000 bonus. They can give it away to their coach or something, but it's theirs. But that's what I think the tour needs to do. If you're inside the top 100, everyone should get a $100,000 bonus, because we want to see these players that aren't doing that well financially. And that's the majority of them. It's the 80-20 rule for most things in life. 80% of the players, they're just not doing well. It's the 20% that are stable and okay. And Coco said, look, she doesn't have any debt. That's what Coco said, because she's a superstar. I mean, Coco's been on the main tour since 15. She's been making good money. She has sponsors. She has endorsements because she's a big star. She's fine. But I don't want to say any names, but as we get down to the 90th player, the 80th players, the 70th players, these players that are ranked lower, they're not making money because they don't have the opportunity to make money. They're playing 250s. They're not winning them. They're out in the first round. They might get $1,000. That's gone, you know, to travel to the next tournament. And they're just, you're spending and you're spending and you're not taking in enough money. And before you know it, you're in debt. So when we take a look at someone like Camila Giorgi and we say, okay, she's made $6 million over the course of her career, half of that's eaten up by taxes and, you know, tennis fees. Okay. She's not pocketing 6 million, but she's a marketable star. She's big. I'm not sure if she's with some type of sports or entertainment agency, but here's the thing. When you're a professional tennis player, you cannot, and I think Camila Giorgi, if she would have took up acting, she'd be a superstar. She has appeal. People know her. People watch her matches to watch her, not necessarily see her win or lose. They're just watching her to see her. That's how big of a star she is. But when you're a professional tennis player, you can't do anything else but play tennis. Tennis is your entire life because the sport is so demanding, it's so grueling, it takes dedication. You can't just pick up and do other stuff. These players, look, they live amazing lives. We know that. They travel the world, they get to see the world. But a lot of times that's their vacation. If they, you know, you might have players sometimes they'll lose a tournament to just to rest and enjoy the scenery, right, of the beautiful country they might be in. But you take a look at someone like Camila Giorgi, that's an expensive lifestyle, okay? And she can't just live anywhere, okay? She's a well-known name. She's a superstar. She's not making the money on tour, clearly, because she's not winning matches. She's not going deep in tournaments. I've told you for several years, Giorgi has tough draws. Take a look at all of her opponents, especially the U.S. Open in particular. Giorgi has been put up against superstars to just destroy her in these slams. She cannot get out of the first round of a slam, which means she's not making money. And just look at her. She's an upscale woman. That's expensive. It's expensive to be Camila Giorgi. You know, eating at these fancy restaurants and all this. And the life she lives is expensive. Now, she does have her own businesses. I understand that. But again, that takes investment. You know, it's you have to dedicate yourself to a business. And I just feel with today's stars, it's a lot easier to make money because you appeal to a younger crowd. There's so many ways to promote you. There's so many ways to make revenue. Giorgi's at that age where it's, look, she's approaching her mid-30s. She's popular, but I don't think she's as marketable as any of these younger stars. Like, take someone like Mira Andreeva. Mira's by far more marketable than Camila Giorgi, and Mira's 17, you know, because it's a different age, it's a different time. So I just feel that the tour has to pay these players more. They have to work out a yearly bonus. And I just feel that it just needs to double. The 250s need to double for one, because those are the players struggling the most, the players that play the 250s. If you're a big star, there's no reason you even want to play a 250, because for one, you're not going to make any money for going there, and you're going to be the center of attraction, which is probably going to take away from you focusing on your game and your craft. So this is why a lot of players don't even play 250s. You had someone like Dasha complaining about that because they're regulating as many, you know, how many stars and top tier players can play these 250s to open up more doors and opportunities for the lower ranked players. Dasha was complaining about it. I'm like, why are you complaining? Who wants to play a 250? You know, you look at Coco, she played the 250 in Auckland because she had to defend her title, you know, and she agreed last year to defend her title. It's a great tradition. It's probably the best 250 to play because they really cater to the players. They got a great tradition and they spoil the players. But other than that, there's really no reason to play a 250 if you're a star, you know. Iga played a grass 250 last year just to get ready for Wimbledon, and then she pulled out. She didn't even want to win the tournament. She would have won the tournament. She didn't even want to. And then, you know, we saw Katerina take on Bronzetti in the championships. Iga was set to face Bronzetti, but nonetheless, again, it's an expensive lifestyle she's been living, and that costs money. And she's not making money in tennis. Whether she's making money outside of tennis with endorsements and sponsors is a different story. I don't know. But when we look at her tennis game, she's not making money on tennis because she's not doing well in the Slam or the Masters. That's how you make your money on tour. See, Giorgi's playing 250s and she's not even winning those. So I just feel that the life, it doesn't matter where you live. If you live in a poor neighborhood, yes, your expenses will be lower, you'll live cheaper, but the cost of that is you have less opportunities to earn decent money because there's no opportunities around you where you can just go get a great job and make all this money. When you live in a wealthy neighborhood, it's a catch 22. You'll make more, but you'll spend more, on, property taxes, on your mortgage, and just the cost of living. So it doesn't matter where you are in this lifetime. They're going to get you coming or going. And I've been fortunate to own houses in multiple states and urban, suburban areas and urban areas. And I see the best of both worlds. I see how people live in different situations. And I can tell you that, again, like I just said, it doesn't matter where you live, you adjust to your economy. Your local economy determines how you live. And Camila Giorgi, a star like that, she's spending a lot of money and she's not making money in tennis. I cover enough tennis. I can tell you what the players are making. And if you take a look on the WTA and these sites like that, what they're reporting that the players are making, it's not true. It's completely inaccurate because that's not the amount they're actually making. When we take a look at gross versus net, that's a completely different story. Even Coco, she made what, 22.7 million last year. That wasn't her gross. Her net, be lucky if it's 10 or 8. But let's get into the picks, guys. I could talk about Giorgi all night. Elena Ostapenko taking on Shramkova. Now, they played twice. The head-to-head is 1-1. Shramkova looks good. She's a clay veteran. She plays a lot of clay matches. And Elena Ostapenko, she's starting to scare me because I think she's finding her form. She's the 9th seed in this tournament. And she's here after taking out Potapova in straight sets and Sarah Turmo in 3. Shramkova is here, and she's in form. She had to come through qualifiers. Harriet Dart, great win, straight sets. Semastaja, who's a great shot maker, straight sets. Padone, straight sets. Katie Bolter, I told you she'd win that match. And Sofia Kenin in 3. It's going to be a tough match for Yelena Ostapenko, guys. I do think so. Now, Yelena today had 6 double faults. She didn't get her first serves in place. She only won 53% of the first serve and 53% of her second serves. I thought she looked horrible today, guys. She's going to have to play a lot better if she's going to beat Shramkova. But I will tell you that the one thing she had going for her today was she was able to find her backhand and forehand down the line. And that's going to be key today, playing someone like Shramkova who's going to get balls back. Shramkova played pretty decent against Sofia Kenin. She got 67% of her first serves in play. She won 60% of those. She did struggle on the second serve, and she did give up a lot of breakpoint opportunities. But I'm going to go with Yelena to win this match. I think her power has the ability to really put Shramkova on the back foot. And she's moving well. She's coming forward and moving well. So I'll take the power of Yelena to win this match on the money line. Maddie Patty taking on Sorana Cirstea. Now, on the surface level, I would say Madison Keys is the pick to go with. But we can't ignore the fact that this is clay. And clay, a lot of how you perform on clay is how you move. Madison Keys, the 18th seed. Sorana Cirstea, the 28th seed. The head-to-head is 2-love for Sorana Cirstea, and they actually played on clay in Madrid a couple of years ago, went 3, and Sorana won that. Here's the thing. Sorana's here after taking out Favertova and Marketa. Marketa's very versatile, great variety, and that shows the movement of Sorana, a lot of short balls. Madison Keys took out Osorio, a good young player, junior slam champion at the U.S. Open. She gets balls back. But she doesn't have the power to be a threat to Madison. Beatrice Haddad does have the power. And I told you Keys would win that match. Keys should have lost that match. She came back. And you know what I say, guys. When a player wins a match they should have lost, watch out. Because they're probably going to lose the next match. Now, Sorana Cirstea, guys, she's a good, solid backhand type of player. She gets balls back, and I think the key in this match is going to be the movement of Sorana. I think Sorana moves better on clay, and for that, I want to take Madison Keys to win this match, but I think Sorana's movement is going to be a big factor in this match. So I'm gonna give a pick here. It's going to be a first set pick, And I think you have to take Serrana in the first set. And I think I'm going to go with the alternate spread. I think I'm going to take Serrana in the first set. I think Serrana's going to cover. They're giving her a lot of alternate games in the first set. And, why don't we go with the alternate spread? We're going to go with the alternate spread overall. We're going to take Serrana Cirstea plus 5.5 games. I'm going to take her plus 5.5 games on the alternate spread. And I do think Serrana will win a set. I think she wins a set for sure. So we'll take Serrana plus 5.5, and we'll take Serrana to win a set. Those are the picks, guys. Osaka and Qinwen. The winner of this match gets the coach. How about that? How about that? The winner gets the coach. We had some drama going on with the coach last season, and it's kind of sad, but I think it worked out good for Qinwen. She ended up making the Australian Open Championship with Rebus. She made the Elite Championship where she lost to Beatrice Haddad. The world's ranked number 7. Qinwen taking on Osaka. They played once. Osaka won that at San Jose in 3 sets. But this is on clay. We all know Qinwen during COVID. She couldn't get a flight. She drove her car around Europe playing clay lower level tournaments. 11-4 on clay last season. Look, for every 8 matches on clay, Qinwen wins 6 of them. Good, solid clay player. We all know Osaka's not a clay player. She's focused primarily on hard. Of her 297 wins, 203 have come on hard. Osaka has not bothered perfecting her game on grass. She hasn't even played a grass tournament in the last 5 seasons. She's only played 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clay matches the last 4 seasons. Osaka looks good, though. It seems like she's really taking things serious now. And how she looked today was very impressive. She finds herself here in the round of 16 after taking out Clara Buell, which is a very tough out. Marta Kashuk also in straight sets. And Dasha Kina, who gets balls back. She's got a great stamina. She has a great motor. She has a great workload and work rate. She really beats opponents by tiring them out and beating them mentally. While Qinwen took out Shelby Rogers, big game Shelby, and Linda Noskova. 2 good competitors, guys. This match goes over. This is a match that I see no way does not go over. I think this match goes over 19.5 games. I think it's going to be a competitive match, and that's going to be my pick there. I would give you a winner on it, but I think the over is the best play you want to look at, over 19.5, because Qinwen's has the better clay experience, but Osaka's overall the better player. It's going to come down to strategy and movement on clay, and I don't know if Osaka's movement is... I don't know if her movement is that good, to be honest with you, because she just hasn't played clay. So I think total is the best pick you want to take here. I'll take the over 19.5 in that match there. And the main event, Coco and Paula Badosa. Now, this is one of the players that Coco struggled against, with aside from Iga. They've played 4 times, and Coco has lost 3 of the 4 matchups. Paula Badosa, she's strong. She's very powerful. She's very physical. And this is a match here. I think it's going to be a tough match for Coco. I know Coco's game very well. Paula Badosa, a few months ago, Coco would probably smoke her. But Paula's playing good tennis. She's won 3 matches in a row. She took out Mira. She took out Emma Navarro. And she took out Diana Snyder. Diana Snyder is young and athletic. Emma Navarro's solid baseliner, gets balls back. And Mira's just a good clay player for her age. Coco's here after taking out Magdalena Fresh and Jacqueline Christian. Coco, let's talk about the matches they played. They played last year in Madrid, where I covered that match. And Coco was frustrated in that match. And that's where she got really upset. And she had it off to a good run in the French Open. But they also played in San Jose a couple of years ago, where Coco had the first set, gave the first set away, and Paula Badosa ended up putting her way into. Coco did beat a couple of years ago Paula Badosa in Doha, and that championship run where Badosa took out Victoria Azarenka at the Indian Wells, that was an amazing run for Paula Badosa. That's when she literally, that's the year she just came out of nowhere and climbed the rankings. Paula Badosa was ranked outside the top 100, and she had an amazing year. All it takes is a master and a slam, a deep run in each, and you'll literally be inside the top 20. So easier said than done, though. Coco on clay, guys. For every 7 matches on clay, she wins about 5. Paula Badosa on clay. For every 3 matches on clay, she's winning close to 2. But Paula Badosa is a lot more experience on clay. I mean, she's older. She's 7 years older than Coco, right? She's 27 years old. But a lot of people have forgotten about her with the mental health issues, with the back issues. There's a lot going on with Paula Badosa these days. But I feel this tournament, she's proving and reminding people how good of a player she is. Paula Badosa, her last time out, she played well against Diana, but she had 9 double faults. I'm not sure she's competing with Coco for the double fault record in this tournament, but she got 60% of her first serves in play. She won 69% of those. She had 10 opportunities to break Diana Snyder, which was very, very good. Coco, on the other hand, 15 double faults. She cannot give Paula Badosa this many free points. That's literally that's a free service game. That's way too many double faults. She got 51% of her first serves in play. She won 73% of her first serves, 63% on the second serve. She had 13 opportunities to break Jacqueline. Here's the thing with Coco. Coco's not an easy out. We all know that, right? Of Coco's 7 losses this season, 5 have gone 3 sets. And 5 have been to players essentially inside the top 20. So Coco, you're not just going to beat Coco. Okay, you're going to have to take her into deep water and hope she makes mistakes, which she's been making the double faults lately. Paula Badosa has power. She's a good baseliner. Coco is a good baseliner. She's good mid-range. She's a good two-way player. She's good at covering the short balls. The only problem is she's giving opponents way too many looks on the second serve, and they're taking advantage of it. If she's not double faulting altogether, she's faulting, and opponents are putting her on the back foot. Those are the points she's losing, the points where opponents are getting her on the second serve. In terms of her defense is top-notch. She's going to break you. She's that good. I don't see how this match does not go over 19.5 games. But we're going to take the first set under 9.5 games. 2 picks. First set under 19.5. I'm sorry. First set under 9.5 games. We're going to take the match over 19.5 games. So it's probably going to go 3. Those are the picks, guys. Enjoy. Quick rundown. Why don't we do first set under 9.5. Naomi, Osaka, Qinwen. What did I say? Match over 19.5. Serrana, I like her plus 5.5 and to win a set. And I like Yelena to win. Those are the picks, guys. Enjoy. We'll be back.